These are the best days of our lives indeed. We have some new information on the upcoming Season 12 of Vanderpump Rules. A new teaser video features details on when we can expect to see Lisa Vanderpump and her team back in action. In the teaser video, posted to Bravo's official Instagram, Lisa is seen at SUR, hanging up a "Help Wanted" sign, and shares in a voiceover what viewers can expect, noting, "The faces may have changed, but my rules, they've stayed the same." The video also reveals that a premiere date for the new season is coming soon. The full teaser adds that it's time for a shift. What we know about Vanderpump Rules Season 12. It was confirmed in November 2024 that Season 12 of Vanderpump Rules would focus on a new cast and group of individuals working for LVP. According to the announcement at the time, this group will be as complicatedly involved with one another as their iconic predecessors. The release continued, under Lisa Vanderpump's watchful eye, the West Hollywood mainstay SUR, and now TomTom, welcomes the next batch of servers, hosts, and bartenders rife with plenty of drama, situations, and rivalries. At the time, Lisa herself hinted at what's to come on Vanderpump Rules in the future. She said in a statement, "The last 12 years of filming have been an extraordinary run, full of laughter, tears, and everything in between. I can't thank enough those who have shared their lives. How I love you all. In the restaurant business, one shift always gives way to another. Cheers to the next generation of Vanderpump Rules." Who is the cast for Season 12 of Vanderpump Rules? Stay tuned for more details on the VPR Season 12 cast as more info on the new season gets announced. However, LVP did share her take on what you can expect from the new group previously. When you have a restaurant, especially in Hollywood, with a revolving door of people who are normally rather large personalities because they come to Hollywood for a reason, it's always complicated, she told Briefing on Bravo. "I am sure it's going to be very different with these young individuals when they get to work, but we shall see. I got some very interesting characters for sure, but SUR has been around for a very long time, and as I say, it's a show we could have filmed 12 months of the year." When will Vanderpump Rules Season 12 premiere? As noted in the teaser, Season 12 is coming soon. In addition to the new season of VVR, it was also previously revealed that Vanderpump Rules will look back at the past decade of heartbreaks, friendship rifts, and notable events, with a retrospective special highlighting the past 11 seasons. The California sun, a relentless golden eye, beat down on West Hollywood. Inside SUR, however, a cool, manufactured twilight reigned, broken only by the shimmering reflections from the ornate chandeliers and the soft glow of the bar lights. Lisa Vanderpump, a vision in perfectly tailored silk, surveyed her domain. The air hummed with an unfamiliar quiet, a void where the usual cacophony of familiar voices, petty squabbles, and dramatic pronouncements once echoed. The "Help Wanted" sign, newly hung on the polished front door, seemed to throb with a silent accusation. "The faces may have changed," she murmured to herself, her British accent a familiar balm in the sudden stillness. "But my rules, they've stayed the same." Her voice, surprisingly steady, held a hint of steel. 12 years. 12 extraordinary years of laughter, tears, and enough spilled cosmos to fill a small swimming pool. She had seen it all, from budding romances that blossomed and withered faster than a forgotten garnish to friendships forged in fire and shattered by a single ill-placed word. How she loved them, her chaotic, beautiful, infuriating family of restaurant staff. But as she'd always said, in the restaurant business, one shift always gave way to another. The last of the old guard had packed their bags, leaving behind a silence that felt both liberating and strangely melancholic. Tom and Tom, Jax and Brittany, Sheena and Lala, their drama had been the very lifeblood of SUR, a never-ending saga that kept millions glued to their screens. Now, it was time for a shift, a new era. The first applicant arrived precisely at 10 a.m., a young woman named Luna, with eyes the color of the Pacific Ocean and a nervous energy that vibrated around her like a protective shield. She clutched a worn resume, her knuckles white. "Miss Vanderpump," she began, her voice barely a whisper, "it's an honor." Lisa offered a small, reassuring smile. "Just Lisa, dear. Tell me, Luna, what brings you to Azure?" Luna took a deep breath. "I've followed the show for years. I know this isn't just a restaurant, it's a lifestyle. And I'm looking for a place where I can truly belong, somewhere that pushes me to be my best, even if it's a bit dramatic." A faint blush crept up her neck. Lisa's smile widened. "Dramatic, you say? Well, you've certainly come to the right place. Next." And so they came. A parade of hopefuls, each with their own story, their own dreams, their own brand of ambition. There was Matteo, a charming barista with a twinkle in his eye and a penchant for unsolicited advice. He claimed to have worked in every trendy coffee shop in Silver Lake, but his resume was suspiciously thin. Then King Chloe, a former child actor with an impressive social media following and an even more impressive sense of entitlement. She wanted to be a server but confessed her true passion was brand synergy. Lisa simply raised an eyebrow. A particularly intriguing character was Noah, a brooding bartender with a sleeve of intricate tattoos and a past he was clearly trying to outrun. He spoke little but possessed an uncanny ability to mix a perfect cocktail and a quiet intensity that hinted at hidden depths. Finally, there was Isabella, a fiery Latina with a no-nonsense attitude and a laugh that could fill the entire restaurant. She'd been a manager at a high-end steakhouse, but craved the authenticity of SUR. "I've heard you don't take any nonsense, Miss Vanderpump," she'd said, her eyes challenging. Lisa had felt a flicker of kinship. The first few weeks were, as expected, a glorious mess. Luna, for all her eagerness, was prone to dropping trays and blushing furiously at every perceived mistake. Matteo's unsolicited advice often led to more confusion than clarity, particularly when he tried to explain the intricacies of the POS system. Chloe was more interested in taking selfies with customers than refilling water glasses, and her brand synergy ideas often involved elaborate, impractical schemes that would have rivaled a Broadway production. Noah, despite his quiet efficiency behind the bar, had an unnerving habit of appearing silently behind staff members, making them jump. And Isabella, while a powerhouse of efficiency, had a tendency to clash with everyone, her blunt honesty often misinterpreted as aggression. Lisa watched it all, a silent observer from her usual corner table. The familiar hum of chaos was slowly returning, a discordant symphony of new personalities trying to find their rhythm. There were already budding flirtations, whispered secrets in the back alley, and more than a few near catastrophes in the kitchen. One evening, during a particularly chaotic dinner rush, a new crisis erupted. Chloe, attempting to balance a tray of 5 complicated cocktails, tripped over a stray chair, sending a rainbow of liquid and shattered glass across the pristine floor. The dining room fell silent. Chloe, mortified, burst into tears. Before Lisa could even rise, Isabella was there, calm amidst the wreckage. "All right, everyone, show's over," she announced, her voice firm but not unkind. "Noah, grab a broom. Matteo, get some towels. Luna, help Chloe up." She then turned to Chloe, her expression softening. "It happens. Take a deep breath. You're okay." Later that night, as the last of the customers trickled out and the new staff began the arduous task of closing, Lisa called them all over. She surveyed their tired, slightly disheveled faces. "Tonight," she began, her voice resonating through the now quiet restaurant, "was a learning experience. You stumbled, you made mistakes, but you also showed me something important. You showed me that you have each other's backs." She paused, her gaze lingering on each of them. "This isn't just about pouring drinks or serving food. It's about building a team. It's about navigating the complicated dance of human relationships, often under the bright lights and even brighter expectations. She walked over to the Help Wanted sign, still hanging, but now looking less like an advertisement and more like a relic of a bygone era. When you have a restaurant, especially in Hollywood, with a revolving door of people who are normally rather large personalities because they come to Hollywood for a reason, it's always complicated. She looked at them, a hint of a mischievous smile playing on her lips. I'm sure it's going to be very different with these young individuals when they get to work, but we shall see. I got some very interesting characters for sure, but SUR has been around for a very long time, and as I say, it's a show we could have filmed 12 months of the year. Luna, emboldened, spoke up. So we're the next generation. Lisa's smile widened, a genuine, warm expression. Indeed, dear, and I have a feeling, she added, her eyes twinkling, that your story is just beginning. The air in SUR, though still holding echoes of the past, was now infused with a new energy, a fresh scent of possibility. The rules remained the same, yes, but the faces, with their fresh dramas and burgeoning friendships, promised a whole new chapter in the ongoing saga of Vanderpump Rules. And as the coming soon